Trump had a B-2 bomber fly over whenever President Putin visited Alaska, which cost millions of dollars just for it to fly there. Obviously, all the deployments of the National Guard and all the federal agencies to D.C. is costing a lot of money. The Marines and the National Guard to L.A. costs a lot of money. And, I mean, obviously the tariff regime is making our economy plummet, which that was also a construct for the rich to get even richer, because they were able to sell a lot of stock prices, right? Sell a lot of stock value. And then when the economy took a dip because of the tariffs, they just bought a bunch back. And then whenever the tariffs were removed for a majority of the things that Trump actually wanted to do, stock prices went back up. And so the rich made money off of that. So there are a lot of discrete ways that the Trump administration is just spending more money, and they're using the money that they cut from Medicare, SNAP, and EBT in order to do that.
That's why everybody has the ability to speak the truth to power.
Yeah, everybody has a role to play. If you're an artist, you can make art. If you don't have the time or the capacity to go out and protest, you can still engage in awareness campaigns. You can try to get your friends to donate to Palestinians' GoFundMe efforts. I mean, there's so much there's so much death and destruction. But there's also a lot of need for every single person to basically contribute to the best of their ability. I think for the longest time, at least in my career, for many years, awareness and simply just like communicating the humanity of Palestinians was the primary goal, because that's how devastating the situation was. That like most people either didn't know who Palestinians were, didn't understand. They'd be like, "What is that, Pakistan? Like I don't know what you're talking about," or they would immediately, the knowledgeable people oftentimes were pro-Israel, and they would just go, "Yeah, you're a terrorist." And I feel like every bit helps. It's the same thing that I say with like fundraisers. You don't have to give, thousands of dollars. Even a dollar helps in that regard. And it's the same when it comes to this as well. Every little step that you take in that direction, every person that you're capable of converting to see the truth about Israel's violence, about the truth about Zionism, is very meaningful. Those people will go around and also convert others, and ultimately that's how you build this sustainable grassroots movement that will hopefully be able to tackle the billions of dollars of pervasive propaganda and influence peddling operation that Israel's been able to enjoy for the last 100 years of death and destruction in Palestine.
Thank you, guys.
I wish I had more questions, but thank you guys so much.
What's good? I'm gonna go speak. It's hard to follow you. It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't even write anything, so I'm a little worried.
Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming Hasan Piker.
Thank you.
I need my back to look like that.
Hello. I hope I'm not too tall for this. Can everybody hear me? Let's do a quick test. All right, we'll start off with a little chant just to make sure that my voice is echoing through all the way over there to the back. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. All right, that's pretty good. Okay. I just want to say it's a real honor to be here, surrounded by so many like-minded individuals who see right from wrong, who recognize the cruelty of the illegal entity of Israel. A lot of you have family members, a lot of you have loved ones that have paid the ultimate price and have been martyred. A lot of you understand the humanity of the situation, and many of you have been around. And a firm advocate for Palestinian emancipation for decades, myself included. And I will say that in these dark times, when we are all constantly flooded with images of Israel's unlimited cruelty, at least the silver lining in all of that is that this movement has finally grown. This movement has finally reached a boiling point, and that people, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people all around the world, including even in the Western world, where they were completely oblivious to the things that were happening in Palestine, are finally awakening to the realities of Israel and its genocide. First and foremost, no one would be aware of this reality if it wasn't for the Palestinians themselves, who every single day bravely take out their cameras and try to communicate to the rest of the world, who have been left in the dark for so many years, for 100 years plus, about what Israel has done to them. The bravery that they exhibit every single day, the courage that they exhibit to show what is happening to them, is the reason why so many people have woken up to this reality, to the reality of Israel's genocide. So I just want to commend every single person that has played a role, including yourselves as well, in amplifying that message and showcasing exactly what's happening. Now, as far as my own personal experience goes, I want to start back with October 7th, even though history obviously didn't start there, no matter how hard Zionist Hasbarists try to claim it did. On October 8th, it seemed like Americans, at least by my experience, were not ready for a Muslim dude named Hasan to say, hold on, all of the violence that you're seeing on your screens is still very much a consequence of Israel's unrestrained cruelty and its sovereignty and its occupation over the Palestinian population. 75 years at that point of ethnic cleansing, apartheid, never offering Palestinians a contiguous state, even in areas like the West Bank that the international community has given as an olive branch. And people left my community. People said that I was a terrorist. There were websites that were instantly launched a week after October 7, 2023 to carefully and meticulously follow every single thing that I was saying and activate the ADL and numerous other Hasbara organizations, numerous other Zionist organizations that masquerade as Jewish advocacy groups in an effort to deplatform people like myself and every other person who was brave enough to say the truth, who at least would do the bare minimum to recognize exactly what was going on and to try to engage others in a broad awareness campaign. And it doesn't feel as lonely anymore as it did in the many years prior to October 7, and certainly in the immediate aftermath of October 7. Now, this is not even a sacrifice in the grand scheme of things, because I think saying the truth is of utmost importance. That's what matters more than anything else. Amen. Recognizing right from wrong matters more than anything else in this situation. So I know many of you have probably already had to deal with Canary Mission or numerous other doxing organizations that get to operate even though they're funded by a foreign state's Knesset. They seemingly have no issues working on U.S. soil, targeting American citizens, targeting people for simply saying the truth. But I think we all know that ultimately, none of those sacrifices, all of those sacrifices are worth it at the end of the day, as long as we can all one day say that Zionism has finally ended, that Palestine is finally free. I'm here to tell you not to get discouraged when it seems as though, even with all of our collective voices, we might come across as powerless, we might feel as powerless, we might feel like change is not happening as fast as we want to. We know that every single new day can mean more death and destruction for the Palestinians, people we know, people we love, people we communicate with on a daily basis. But ultimately, their sacrifices are not in vain, and we can't let their sacrifices be in vain. Because if we go silent, if we feel discouraged, if we lean into nihilism, and if we forget about Palestine, if we forget about the Palestinians, then Israel wins. It's that simple. Some of the cruelest, most evil people on this planet want you to be silent. They want you to feel discouraged. That is the reason why they engage in doxing operations. That's the reason why they immediately call the manager and try to get you fired. But that is precisely the reason why you must not stop. You must never feel discouraged.
Amen.
I like to always say, it's easy to feel powerless in the face of such tremendous cruelty. I totally understand how some people want to tap out every now and then. But you must never succumb to nihilism. You must always maintain revolutionary optimism. You must always continue to organize. You must always continue to agitate. Because the quicker we can create enough insurmountable pressure that causes the American state to recalculate its double suicide pact with Israel, the quicker we can save as many Palestinian lives as possible. We do it for those who have been martyred, and we do it for those who still remain. They are resilient. They have no other option. They must survive. Their everyday existence is an act of resilience. They are steadfast, and we must do it for them. We must be steadfast in our movement as well. Whenever you feel like change is not coming, and you feel like nihilism is kicking in, remember, if you can't find it in your heart to see a better future, do it out of spite to continue this movement. Out of spite for every single person that you encounter, some of the worst people out there, the Michael Rappaports of the world, the Amy Schumers of the world, the Itamar Ben-Gvirs of the world,
That escalated.
Satan Yahoo. Find that anger within your heart to continue. Spite is also a good enough motivator, because those are the worst people out there, and they want you to be silent. They want you to go away. They want you to feel discouraged. They want you to feel scared.
I want you to give up.
So always remember, as long as you have the truth on your side, and we all do in this situation, in this genocide, as long as you continue pushing, the dam will inevitably break. And we are closer than ever before in arriving at that solution, in arriving at justice for the Palestinian population. I know it doesn't feel like it, but the reason why there's additional pressure from Western states, like the prescription of Palestine action in the UK, or, that's right, I know, fuck the UK. Participating in genocide, while also simultaneously offering conditional recognition to a Palestinian state.
That is, yeah.
Palestine exists. The Palestinians exist. It's not up to you to decide that. But the reason why Western leaders have realized that they have to be even more cruel and suppress speech even more actively, hands-on. My friend Mahmoud Khalil spoke earlier today. He was unjustifiably arrested. He still has a court case that's pending. This administration is doing things that actually undermine the very fabric of American society, beyond the colonial exploitation, beyond the death and destruction, beyond the upholding of violent systems like white supremacy. The Americans actually at least had a couple things that they advocated for unconditionally, like free speech. And now they're eroding that fundamental principle. They're eroding that fundamental constitutional protection at the behest of a foreign state.
And are we going to?
And I'm telling you right now, I speak to Americans all the time, people from very different backgrounds than mine, and they're angry too. So it's up to all of us to activate them. It's up to all of us to motivate them.
Look, that is
become undeniable.
That is our mission.
Become unavoidable.
That is our mission.
And keep up the pressure no matter what.
Amen.
And one day, we will see a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Thank you.
Oh man, dude. What a speech.
What's going on?
What a speech. Like I say, that is I think that is kind of the important thing to hold close to your heart when you're faced with any discouragement.
Is it good? Okay.
Any amount of hatred that you may receive, or any amount of evil that you may witness. None of that. You cannot let any of that put you down. You cannot let any of that discourage you from continuing to spread the truth. Let's do it.
What do you mean, thank me? Thank you.
Yeah, man.
You actually went out there. You were, for those of you who don't know,
Chris Smalls.
Oh,
bro, fuck yeah.
He was out in Handala, right? You went on one of the Gaza flotillas on a humanitarian mission that broke through the unjustifiable occupation's blockade, and he was arrested and tortured. Right? Do you want to talk about that? We can also go outside.
This is the tradition that we stand in the PYM.
Did you speak today?
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh, yesterday? What's going on? Sure. Well, quick.
Rachel, I'm with Breakthrough News.
Hi.
I think we interviewed you backstage at the DC rally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a few minutes.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Chris for a second.
Israeli prison. U.S. Human Rights Defender Chris Smalls was physically assaulted by 7 uniformed individuals. They choked him and kicked him in the legs, leaving him with friends with violence in his neck and back.
Nice to meet you guys. I guess we could do it back here. This is great.
Yeah.
It's quiet. It's nice. So yeah, what made you want to join the humanitarian mission, the humanitarian flotillas going to Gaza?
Yeah, as you mentioned, a labor leader, a taxpaying citizen, just trying to push the narrative forward, put my life on the line, put my body on the line. That's our strongest weapon, is our body, and withholding our labor. And for me, going on a Handela mission, of course, to break the siege and try to deliver humanitarian aid, is a way to push our labor unions here in the U.S. that we have to do more, because they're supposed to be the shield for the working class, and that doesn't exclude the lives of Palestinians.
Yeah. So, do you mind talking about your experiences getting apprehended and being in an Israeli occupational force detention center for an extended period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for those who don't know, I was captured along with the 21 volunteers on the Handela mission a few weeks ago. I spent 5 days in Israel's prison. I was the only black passenger on the Handela. So the treatment of me and my Arab brother Hasan from Tunis was completely different. I was assaulted by 7 authorities from the immigration department, thrown to the ground. They put their knee in my back. They put both my arms behind my back. They used my chains to choke me. They slammed me to the ground a few times. They put me in a separate room, put me up against the wall face first, and they said some racist remarks saying that they're nothing like me. They obviously was talking about my skin color. And they dropped me off at the border of Jordan when we were released from prison. 5 days later, it's no coincidence that I was the last to be released. And we went through psychological torture, from them punishing us for being on a hunger strike, to them raiding us with the raid unit inside the prison, and to them lying to us every single day. It was.
What were they saying?
Well, they would do things like promise that I'm going to go home, make me get dressed. And then they'll slam the door in your face and say, you're not going anywhere. So they specifically were trying to break me down psychologically. And I knew that what they were doing wasn't working, and it was just only making them more angrier. So it was really just living in my head and knowing that the community on the outside was definitely supporting me, because remind you, I didn't know what was going on until I got home. So I want to say thank you for amplifying my freedom and the freedom of the passengers that were also captured, because if it wasn't for you guys sharing our stories and keeping all eyes on us, who knows what they could have gotten away with.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So as a black American, did you feel a similarity in the treatment that you received from the Israeli occupying force that you have seen in like domestic policing in the country?
Oh, for sure. 1,000%. I mean, we know that it's that the IOF, they train with police departments all across America.
They got a Tel Aviv, New York Police Department has a Tel Aviv headquarters.
Exactly. So the same type of treatment. Even just going back to my arrest against Amazon, I was thrown in prison for Amazon as well. It all correlates, and connecting these dots and connecting these struggles is what I also want to do. They are all complicit in this genocide. Corporations, our governments, and even these labor unions who are continuing to ship arms and manufacture weapons. They're on the wrong side.
Yeah, withholding labor power, I think, is a very important part of this, and you see this in like other labor unions around. In other Western countries, there are longshoremen's unions that are like refusing to work with Israeli weapons transfers,
right.
and doing work stoppages and like trying to stop when a shipment of Israeli weapons is like entering their ports.
Yep.
So there's that. There's a bunch of different labor actions that are taking place.
My brothers in the unions in Greece, and they've been shutting down the docks. The regions in Italy, there's a bunch of regions in Italy that fully divested from Israel's ties. And we got to do the same thing here in America. The IOWU has done a phenomenal job of history of being on the right side. It's the East Coast that we have the problems with, and the Gulf of Mexico. But yeah, the power of the people, we've proven it over and over again. When we come together, we can overcome anything. And the Palestinian movement is bringing us all together to fight for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think demonstrating resilience in the face of this level of cruelty is, no matter whatever they throw your way, whether it be like smear, slander, or directly jailing you, arresting you, trying to ruin your life, I think pushing through it all, knowing that the truth is on our side, I think that's what these people in positions of power fear the most. That's the reason why they try to increase the intensity of their actions, increase the intensity to try to create a chilling effect on people's legal demonstrations against something that is repugnant, morally abhorrent. A genocide is the crime of all crimes, right? So I really thank you for your courage. I really thank you for putting your body on the line.
Appreciate it, brother.
And you're amazing. So
yeah, you too, bro.
I'm real fortunate to know someone like you. And Yeah, we just gotta keep going.
Absolutely.
We just gotta keep up the good fight.
Yeah, likewise, brother.
Have you? What are your other plans when you're out here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely here networking, and the activist in me putting together a call to action. The next big thing that I think we need to do as a community, especially here in the U.S., is call these entities out. But not only that, just calling them out. We got to demonstrate in front of these larger unions as well. I'm hoping to see a day where there's a national day of action against the AFL-CIO, who's been complicit for the last 2 years, and also the longshoremen in the U.S. that have been shipping arms. I want to see a day where the community rises up and say, you know what, these labor unions need to stop shipping arms and manufacturing.
Do you feel like the rank and file see that, and it's more so the very same fears that people in positions of power have all around, where it's like you got union leadership that is fearful to take action like this because they're worried about the same repercussions that people like ourselves face on a daily basis. So I try to explain to people, like, none of that fucking matters.
No.
You just keep pushing. Like, they can't kill you.
If you haven't lost anything, then you haven't done enough. I mean, everybody, we lost opportunities, we lost money, we lost we even lost friends and family over arguments. People in our community, we arguing over this. I know when I started speaking out about Palestine in the very beginning, I lost over 10,000 followers instantly. And you just can't allow that to distract you. You had to continue pushing forward. Same thing with Amazon. People told me it's impossible. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And we've proven with taking on a $2.2 trillion company that when you bring people together, nothing can stop us. And that's the same thing with Palestine. We have to bring people together from all different backgrounds and creeds to make sure that we're speaking truth to power and overcome our oppressors.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's that. It is that galvanizing factor that people in positions of power are the most afraid of. And I think, like, it's happening right now. This is like I've been in this space for a very long time, like doing activism around the Palestinian emancipatory movement, and I mean, this is unbelievable. Like, the amount of people that are showing up to protest, the amount of people that are trying to get their college campuses to divest, in spite of all of that unimaginable pressure, like the threats that you won't have a career anymore if you speak the truth. And I always think about what Aaron Bushnell said. If you're wondering what you would do throughout historic periods of cruelty, whether it be slavery or the Holocaust, like, look no further. You're doing what you'd be doing then, right now.
Absolutely.
And I feel like just not taking any action, not doing every possible thing you can in the face of such overwhelming injustice and cruelty is unacceptable.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, we all got a role to play.
Yeah.
We all got a role to play, and I know for a fact that as a parent, as a father, I don't want to see a future where my children is growing up in a world like this right now. Very dark times in humanity, and if you sit back and be silent, our silent is death. So once again, man, I appreciate you sacrificing and putting your neck on the line, your platform, using it every day to amplify these struggles, because that's what we have to do. We have to connect these class struggles and make sure that we're doing it intergenerational, intersectional, and keep this narrative going that Palestine will be free in our lifetimes, and we have to believe in that.
Yeah. I think there's also, the reason why I asked you about, like, your experiences with American police is because there is a parallel. A lot of people look at, like, what's going on over there, and Americans love to be very selfish and self-interested. And sometimes I can't even fault a lot of people because they're struggling on their own. They're struggling to make rent, right? They're struggling to pay for their bills, their groceries. So then they say, oh, why should I care about this? But many Americans, I think, also will say, oh, well, why do I care about Palestine? There's fascism happening here right now. And I think what a lot of those people don't understand is this is interconnected. Because as Ta-Nehisi Coates said in the lead up to the election, a Democratic Party that turns a blind eye to genocide and doesn't want to stop a genocide. What makes you think that party is going to preserve democracy? What makes you think that they're going to actively push back against Donald Trump? So the government broadly that continues funding this illegal entity that is doing an unlimited death and destruction campaign, a genocide, they're going to do that to you too.
Yep.
I mean, we see it every single day. We see it with like the church shooting that took place.
Yep. Yeah.
Americans care about white children, right? Like this is a white supremacist country, a country that, you know, allows its white babies to be slaughtered is going to, of course, continue allowing children in Gaza to be slaughtered. And we have to, in order to change that dynamic here, in order to make the change that we need to see here to improve our lives here, we have to start with an issue of so much consequence that virtually virtually the majority of Western nation populations can see right from wrong on.
Right. We already won the public opinion.
Yeah.
We won that battle.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the white supremacy
People that know about
of Israel is the epitome
either
of what American white supremacy
are
wants
Zionists
and
already.
continues to hold.
Yeah.
And that's the
They're
correlation,
new to
is that
conversation, and
Israel
they're
is the
Palestine,
white
so they see
supremacy
what's
that
happening
all of these
to
Western countries,
people in Gaza,
from colonialism to imperialism, they want to continue to uphold. And by us breaking the siege, by us being pro-Palestine, by us continuing to fight along these class struggles, the resistance is something they can never kill. One thing for sure that we can promise everybody here is that Donald Trump, Bibi Netanyahu, these people will never see what they hope to see, which is the killing of Gaza completely.
Yeah.
The resistance movement, they will never see it in their lifetimes.
Yeah.
And that's what they failed to realize, that we, the people, will never ever stop fighting until we see everybody free, from political prisoners to the 10,000 Palestinian children that's locked up, to the Congo, to Sudan, to Syria, to Lebanese, to
Xinjiang.
Cuba, all of these different countries that are facing the same type of apartheid or oppression or blockades. We will rise above that. And that's what I'm glad to be in company with you. Since I met you, 5 years ago now, always been on the right side. And we just have to continue to use our platforms. As I mentioned, we all have roles to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna go
man.
talk to the PSL, the Breakthrough guys.
Absolutely, man. I'll see you in LA. I'll be out there next week, man. No
Thank
doubt,
you.
brother.
All right.
For those of you that don't know, Chris Smalls, I believe he was he pushed for the first ever union for Amazon workers, which is fucking huge, right? Because, you know, Amazon, if you know anything about Amazon, they are not huge on workers' rights. And so Chris was a big upset for that. He advanced workers' rights for everyone that works for Amazon. I mean, yeah, he's a foundation for that. He is the foundation for that. On top of that, he also was a part of the Freedom Flotilla Hondala, which is the second Freedom Flotilla that went to Gaza. Let me pull this back up. And yeah, he was a part of it. There are a lot of different people on this one. I forget who all was on here. But yeah, and I mean, he was just like the first flotilla. He was kidnapped, tortured. And what I wanted to talk about is, and this is for, if you, and especially for Black Americans, but Black people in general, if you're hearing this, right, and you've, I don't know, there's just a sentiment that I've seen expressed online that, you know, this is not, like, Black people saying this is not our fight. And I want to take a moment to, you know, realize that I have no position to tell the Black community what to do, okay? I understand that. These things are interconnected. These mechanisms of fascism are not isolated, and ultimately the people that are enacting this on Gaza are of the same ilk of the people that would enact this on black communities in America. And ultimately that is where this country is headed. If we take a look at ICE is enacting currently on Hispanic communities. Obviously they're not straight up committing a genocide. However, you could view it as an ethnic cleansing, right? They're taking entire communities of Hispanic people, whether they're here legally or not, and removing them from the country. And they're looking to do this with black people too. They're going to create a permission structure around doing this with Haitian migrants. And then they're going to start profiling any black person as a Haitian migrant. That's what they're doing with Hispanic people. They're profiling them as possibly illegal, and then kidnapping them and putting them in a camp or deporting them or whatever, you know? And so these mechanisms of fascism are all interconnected, and they all must be brought down together. There is no, like, I don't know. There's no true freedom for any one minority group without the freedom of another. Black lives will matter when Palestine is free, and vice versa. Like, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying like personally, like of course black lives do matter. But I'm just saying like from the American imperialist perspective, right? And so these mechanisms of fascism will treat anyone that is not aligned with them the same way. And I mean, black people are treated the same way in Israel. If you are a black Jew, specifically like African Jews try to migrate to Israel, and they are told to fuck off. They are told, we don't want you here. Same with like Indian Jews that try to move to Israel. The white Israeli Jews tell them to fuck off. It's an apartheid state, right? And that's kind of what America is moving towards, is just a white supremacist state. It's not so much based on ethnicity, or like, you know, the Jewish identity, but rather white supremacy, right? So, I don't know, that's just something to be aware of, and a perspective that I would hope you can become more aware of and akin to, because ultimately, again, no one marginalized community will see, you know, their ultimate ambitions realized without the freedom and the liberation of every marginalized group in the world. This is a global movement, and it may, you know, there may be like local movements that you can participate in, and you may not have like a direct impact on Palestine, right, with your own, but at the end of the day, our words are our power. We have to use that. And that's why I'm here. I know, dead ass, there's nobody in my chat right now. Do I give a fuck? No. I'm going to still talk, and I'm going to try to upload this to YouTube and hope that somebody sees it and that this helps radicalize somebody, you know? But yeah, that being said, I thought it was really powerful to hear from Chris. I'm glad that he was there. And yeah, shout out People's Conference for Palestine. Shout out that motherfucking Hasan Piker. If you don't fuck with Hasan, I don't know what to tell you, man. He radicalized me. He changed my life. Not to, you know, sit here and suck his dick or nothing, but like, I would not be the person I am today without much knowledge gained from him. And now I would like to spread that to more local audiences, people who are maybe not as tapped into like online communities. So if you're seeing this, I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening to me. Now, let's get into some motherfucking news, yeah?